Coronation Street, 15 massive spoilers for next week. What's next on the cobbles? Coming up next week on Coronation Street, the residents grapple with the emotional fallout from Mason Radcliffe's untimely death. Tensions run high as the tragedy leaves its mark on the cobbles, pushing relationships and friendships to the brink. Meanwhile, Kevin seeks medical advice from Dr. Gadders about some troubling health issues, while Carla faces a blast from the past when she finally reconnects with her estranged brother. Rob. 1. Matty and Logan's outcomes unveiled. Sean breaks the shocking news to Dylan. Matty has been arrested for Mason's murder. The police have CCTV evidence showing Matty discarding the knife, linking him directly to the crime. Meanwhile, Billy resolves to arrange Mason's funeral despite his initial hesitation and informs Sally of his plans. As this unfolds, Logan, still evading capture, watches from a distance, his presence casting a chilling shadow over the scene. 2. Dylan's reckoning begins. Dylan's involvement in the tragedy leads him to the police station, where he faces his own set of consequences. DC Kit Green confirms that Dylan will be charged with possession of a bladed article. Frightened and uncertain, Dylan is forced to confront the reality of how his actions could impact his future. 3. Alia faces moral conflict. Alia struggles with guilt after Sean accuses her of prioritizing her career over her conscience for defending Matty. Her unease grows, and by midweek, Alia confides in Adam about her dilemma, admitting that she's considering stepping away from her role entirely because she feels compromised. 4. Kevin discovers a health scare. In Seb's memorial garden, Kevin finds Abby deep in conversation with her late son. These poignant scenes feature Abby hallucinating, with Harry Vizinoni reprising his role as Seb. Noticing Abby's fragile emotional state, Kevin decides to hold off on sharing his own worrying news. 5. Kevin consults Dr. Gadders. Kevin takes the brave step of visiting Dr. Gadders about a lump is discovered, and she refers him for further tests. He later confides in Tim, admitting fears of testicular cancer. Eventually, Kevin shares the news with Abby, who is shocked, struggling with her own trauma. Abby opens up to Roy about hearing Seb's voice and reliving his death. Roy urges her to share her feelings with Kevin. 6. Bobby faces chaos in prison. Rob, claiming to have found religion during his incarceration, offers to make amends for his past by helping Carla. Their conversation is abruptly interrupted when new inmate Matty Radcliffe brandishes a knife and threatens a prison guard, turning the situation into a tense hostage standoff. Bobby finds himself caught in the middle of the terrifying ordeal. 7. Carla confronts Rob's transformation. After hearing Bobby's report, Carla dismisses Rob's claims of religious conversion, believing it's all an act. However, Bobby persuades her to visit him. During their meeting, Rob insists he's genuinely changed and even offers Carla his kidney if he's a match. Carla is skeptical but conflicted. 8. Carla grapples with financial hurdles. Carla researches the possibility of accepting Rob's kidney donation but discovers a significant barrier. The cost of privately treating a prisoner in hospital could amount to £100. Now facing an enormous financial challenge, Carla must decide if she can find a way to raise the money. 9. Bethany considers a life-changing move. Bethany shares exciting news with Daisy. She's been offered her dream job at a magazine in London. Despite her enthusiasm, Bethany worries about how Daniel will react to her decision to leave. Daisy reassures her that Daniel will be supportive, but Bethany still braces herself for his response. 10. Cassie's schemes unravel. Cassie's manipulative actions catch up with her after she spikes Ken's tea and urges Birdie to keep quiet. When Birdie confides in Daisy, she alerts Daniel. However, Bethany, misinterpreting Daisy's actions, grows jealous seeing them in a hushed conversation. Distraught, Bethany begins drinking heavily, leading to an incident where Daisy gets hurt trying to help her. 11. Daisy's secret slips out at A&E. After injuring herself, Daisy convinces Daniel to take her to the hospital, where she hopes to keep her pregnancy under wraps. However, a nurse inadvertently reveals the news while discussing X-rays. Both Daniel and Kit are shocked by the revelation, and Daisy faces pressure to admit that she's unsure of the baby's paternity. 12. Daniel's doubts deepen over Cassie. Cassie tries to dismiss her suspicious behavior, claiming she only used sweeteners. But Daniel isn't convinced. Later, he confides in Adam about the situation, explaining that Cassie is now using Daisy's pregnancy and his possible connection to it to manipulate him into silence. 13. Lauren breaks things off with Max. Fearing the worst for her upcoming trial over Joel's death, Lauren decides to end her relationship with Max. She tells him it's time to move on, as she could face a lengthy prison sentence and doesn't want him waiting for her. Heartbroken, Max struggles to process her sudden decision. 14. Lauren's trial starts poorly. As Lauren's trial begins, the prosecution paints her in an unfavorable light, accusing her of dishonesty. Bobby and Nina attend to offer support, but Lauren's anxiety mounts. Fellow prisoner Bree adds to her distress by cruelly suggesting that Lauren's baby, Frankie, would be better off without her. 15. Leanne receives tough love. Leanne tries to bond with Sam over milkshakes but alienates him with complaints about Nick and Toya. Seeking advice, she turns to Tracy, who bluntly suggests that Leanne focus on enjoying her life without Nick. Leanne is left wondering if she should take the advice to heart.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.